4KINGS Media Group presents Clumsy Kings and Queens, dropping jewels.
Today I have a special guest, and I'm wasting no time. We're jumping right into it. To my left, I have none other than Mr. Mike E. Etheridge,
Oh my God.
music producer, songwriter, singer, video director, label owner, and most importantly of all, a servant of the Lord. Mikey Etheridge. What's up,
bro?
my brother?
Bro, I'm
How you
glad to
doing?
be on the show. I'm
Man,
glad to be here, bro.
I'm glad you chose this platform
Yeah.
to come speak your piece at, man.
Oh man, I'm thankful for the opportunity, man, to really just come out and share. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
VA the VA way. Yeah.
So look, VA.
All right, so Chance, tell the people where you from.
Yeah, if you don't know, I'm from 757, Bayside Arms, right here, live and direct, in my backyard, as we like to call it, the big field, the classic
Big field.
the infamous big field.
Where the legends were made.
Exactly. A lot of legends that played on this field, you know. But yeah, that's basically it. You know what I'm saying? That's where I was at, born, well, raised out here, put it that way. Raised out here.
So when you so you in Bayside Arms.
Mhm.
How old were you when you said your first rhyme?
Ah, man, maybe a serious rhyme, maybe like middle school, like I'm talking maybe 6th grade, seventh grade, maybe, something like that. 7th grade, 8th grade,
All right, so now take me back. Tell me the story. It got to be a time. Who was your first battle rap? Who the first dude? What was the first cipher you jumped in? Who was the first person you had to go at? Was there any ciphers you was looking to get in, or you was hearing that niggas was nice over here, over there?
Back then,
like,
it wasn't
like that?
it wasn't really like that. It
It
wasn't
was
too
still
many.
okay.
Yeah,
It wasn't too many rap. Yeah, it wasn't too many MCs in the
people
area.
like that. Yeah, in the area that was like
Nice.
oh,
Had a
rap,
name.
had
Okay.
a name. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's how it seems.
We
too.
were just really just kind of just catching on to the culture. You know what I'm saying? Just getting involved with the culture, the whole hip hop wave, just getting going. You know what I'm
So
saying?
this when the whole joint is just starting. Period.
Yeah, just really starting to
It's
catch,
finally
like,
starting to spread outside of New
starting to
York.
spread. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I'm talking.
But this man is too great and too big of a pioneer in the city
Oh man,
to
go
waste
ahead.
any more
I'm
time,
honored, man. I'm honored. I'm humble.
All right.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you, man,
Mm-hmm.
because I want the people to know.
Yeah.
How old were you when you first discovered your love for music? And what was as much as you can remember, what was the story behind that?
To be honest, it was like I would say
6.
6 years old, because a lot of people may not know I'm adopted.
Okay.
So I was adopted at 6 months old, right?
Word.
So in my home with my adoptive parents, the Etheridges,
Okay.
those are my parents though. Like
Right,
that's all the
right,
parents
right,
I know.
that's
other
all
than,
you know.
But I did meet my mother later, so we're close now. But
Okay, that's peace.
they are they were like really church going people. This is how God works.
Yeah.
They had no idea they would get a kid who was gifted.
Right.
You know what I mean?
right,
With
right,
singing
right,
and
right.
writing
Yeah.
and just music, like
Uh-huh.
rhythmatically. I think like God just gave me something. When I hear it, I can just duplicate it. Or I used
Okay.
to sit in my room and write songs down. But at 6, I was being exposed to church. I mean, all day long. So this is the thing, like,
This is Virginia Beach too?
oh, this is Virginia Beach,
Okay.
New Hope Baptist Church,
Okay,
FOP
okay,
Club, the
okay,
Fraternal
okay.
Order of Police is where they started.
Talk.
Yeah, so they ended up buying a building in the Lynn Haven area.
Okay.
New Hope Baptist Church. There's still that Pastor E. Ray Cox. You may have heard of him because his son got murdered.
Okay.
In the Virginia Beach mass shooting. That was like my brother. We was in the
Wow.
choir together. Yeah. So at 6, I was always around music, and my parents were like, no drinking, no smoking, no cussing.
Right.
I mean, they
So it
won't
was straight.
listen.
It was
They
straight
had their issues, you know what I mean.
Right,
but there
right.
wasn't
Yeah.
those things.
Yeah.
So growing up in the house, all I knew was gospel music. It wasn't until I would get around my aunts or something.
Right.
Because at 6, I'm going to kindergarten in Norfolk.
Okay. Oh,
So
man.
they're keeping
Those kids different over there,
Oh man, listen. In Norfolk, I'm going to kindergarten because the interesting fact. I'll get this out. The video.
Late 80s, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Probably when I really got serious, you know what I'm saying?
So you just playing around mid.
Yeah, all that as a younger, you know what I mean? Like I said, I first figured out I could write a rhyme from poetry, you know what I'm saying? When I figured out that I could write poems, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that was young. Like I said, that probably was like you know, elementary school to, like I said, early middle
So
school.
you got turned on to poetry from school?
Yeah, from school. I got
What
turned
was your
on to
elementary?
poetry. I went to Newtown.
Okay,
You know what I'm
Newtown
saying?
Elementary. What's
So
up?
from Newtown, probably around like I think Newtown only went up to about like 5th grade during this time frame on what it is now. But then we went to Betty F after that for 6th and 7th. So I think I got like poetry around like at the end, like 5th grade, you know what I'm saying, around there.
Right.
And then it kind of carried on into, so Betty F days, 6th and 7th was kind of more, now I'm getting more catchy in it, and hip hop is flowing down here and shit, you know what I'm saying? It's flourishing, starting to flourish out here. So, you know, definitely by the time I got to junior high, which would have been Bayside Junior, was like 8th, you know what I mean, like 8th grade, 8th and 9th grade.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I definitely was like, I think I got something going on right now. Yeah,
okay.
I think I can do something like this. You know what I'm saying?
All right. So during this time, you say 8th, 9th grade, you starting to feel yourself. Who was your? Everybody got every great MC has had a hype man. Who was your hype man? Who was that was beside you? Like, yo, bro, you like that, bro? Yeah, bro. Or you would be like, yo, listen to this. The first dude you would call, be like, yo, listen to this joint I just wrote. Or he'll call you like, man, I know you got something. Did you have a guy like that?
Let me see. Back then, probably was my cousin Polo Lamar. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
Rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? To cousin Polo. But because me and him we was rolling tight like that. And we was always together, you know what I'm saying? So, and then we had that music thing, you know, and then it kind of, it kind of, it was already going up.
I got you.
But yeah, so I want to say probably my cousin Polo, you know what I'm saying? And then,
what would Polo be saying to you? What would be his role in helping craft you as
really, he didn't have no role. It was just the fact that he was just always with me. You know what I'm saying? We was always together, so he knew it. You know what I mean? He just knew I was right around. Outside of my brother, you know what I'm saying? You know, outside of Mingo, you know what I'm saying?
Mingo a baby at this time.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he young. He young. Yeah, he's super young.
He's young watching history happen and shit.
Yeah, so me and Polo, and then it kind of branched out a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Definitely by the time I hit, like I said, high school, 10th grade, you know what I'm saying? That's when I started getting beats involved, and I started like fucking with like Griff, you know what I'm saying, back then.
Who you got your first beat from?
The video.
No disrespect to the Norfolk moms, but y'all know them kids different than the Virginia.
They different too, and I can tell you a story. They different because I'm from the beach. You know, I'm in Virginia Beach. It's a whole different environment.
Facts.
My pops, he's like a successful auditor for the government. So you know, my perspective, the neighborhood we lived in, I was the only black kid.
Right. Okay.
You know what I mean? So I'm growing up around all white kids and Filipinos and all of that. So when I go to Norfolk, I'm like, wait a minute, something's different here.
Right.
Even though, you know, it's just the reality of it. So that introduced me to the different economic disparities, because my aunts and them didn't have that, you know what I'm saying? So right. So but they was like, okay, we ain't got it like that, but we gonna show you this side. You know what I mean? So that's what
the two words.
Right. So the you know what I mean, I got to experience that early from that Norfolk side. So my music development was from that too. Like I said, all the time in church. So at 6, I'm being poured into, and then you singing in the kids choir now. And then there was a musician. Shout out to Andrew Williams. He used to play for New Light after he left New Hope, but he's a legend. Legend. I'm talking about like, bro. Listen, you think some of the baddest musicians y'all don't even know their name?
Don't even know him.
This brother's crazy, but he was my mentor as far as, you know, musically.
Right.
So I grew up listening to him sing and just da-da-da-da-da. So I'm a young kid knowing who Sam Cooke is, knowing who all these people is, knowing who Aretha Franklin is.
Soulful music, man.
Yeah, see, that's what I come from.
No doubt.
So you're not going to hear a lot of pop with what I do.
No doubt.
It's going to be really soulful. It's going to be like the roots are going to, you know, no matter what I'm doing. Even on the count, you got the soulful hook. You know what I mean? So this is just like, but anyway, like I said, gospel music is my foundation.
That's your foundation.
Yeah, that's it, bro. And so I was introduced at 6.
6 years old. That's when the realization popped. Like, man.
And I would play on pots and pans. I would get my mom's pots and pans, right? When the music would come on, and I would get wooden spoons and stuff and start playing with the music.
So it's that type of stuff. It comes from God.
It comes from God.
That gift
and what
is
she
already
did, she said, "This boy's gifted."
Right.
So they then brought me the first drum set.
Okay.
Like around 7.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then from there, it was Mickey Mouse. I was killing that joint. Bust a hole through it. Yeah, I'm a drummer. That's what my foundation. That's what we did in the band.
I remember I met him in the 9th grade in Independence Middle. He was beating on the tables then, singing songs like, yo, you know I can sing, right?
Yes,
When I
he
first
was
met
the,
him.
he was the sports star though, like unstoppable on the football field, track, killing them. But yeah, that's
That's
facts.
real, man. That's real. Okay, so 6 years old. That's normally a baby genius, pretty much. You know, the
Yeah,
gift was always
I feel
yours.
like it was something God gave me early that, you know what I mean?
Actually, it was I probably want to say my man Mark De Niro. I want to say probably, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying. And Mark was he was like a year older than me, so I met Mark through, I would say like, I think it might have been my cousin Aaron or something like that.
Mhm.
I met Mark. I can't really remember from them back then, but Mark was a dude that always had he had all the fresh music. He had all the hip hop.
Right.
He had all this vinyl.
Right.
He used to make mixtapes for cats. I used to be like, damn, where y'all get these tapes from, bro? You know what I'm saying? They was like, yo, Mark, you know what I'm saying? You gotta get with Mark. So I finally met Mark and we got cool, you know what I'm saying? He made me some tapes and shit. And then Mark fucked around and had bought a beat machine
Right.
back then, you know what I'm saying? I had a little beat machine. And he started putting little beats together, man. And I think that was like one of my first like beats I probably got was from Mark, you know what I mean? And then after that it kind of shit kind of went fast in a short period of time, you know what I'm saying? Like it went from just a little buzz to bam, it was some shit going on. You know what I'm saying? Like it was some shit going on.
Yeah.
Like at least I felt from my level, like I went from I thought I was okay, I knew I could do this, to bam, I'm nice with this shit now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, to being out this bitch, you know what I mean? Pulling them all-nighters, you know what I'm saying? We be on the block, you know what I mean? You know, me and, you know, like Pig, you know what I'm saying? That was my ace, you know what I'm saying? Peace, shouts out to Pig, you know what I'm saying? We put them all-nighters and shit, you know what I'm saying? We put them all-nighters and we be out this bitch, boy. I just bust a rhyme, be out this bitch, and niggas like, yo, just bust a rhyme, cuz, you know what I'm saying? I just be rhyming, you know what I'm saying? Freestyle, no beats, just freestyle.
That's what I used to see.
For an hour, just freestyle about shit. Niggas walking up, I'm just talking about everything that's going on. They're like, oh shit, this nigga's nice, you know what I'm saying? This is a little bit beyond average, you know what I'm saying?
And you say this high school, right?
Yeah, this is like high school to end, like
so
early
you
high
and Griff,
school.
and you and Griff was in high school together, and you was getting beats from Griff too.
Yeah, then I started getting beats from Griff, you know what I'm saying? I started getting beats from Griff too once I found out that Griff made beats.
No
you know
wonder
what
y'all
I'm
got
saying?
that chemistry. Y'all got decades.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So once I found out that Griff made beats, even though I was missing Griff, because Griff like ended up joining the military, you know what I'm saying? And he got in the Navy and he was gone and he got married early.
Right.
So we had a little separation, but then we ended up linking back up like right after high school, you know what I mean? And we've been pretty much a lock, you know what I mean, ever since. But that musical journey, like it took me to other places, like, you know, I started linking. We started Third Eye, you know what I'm saying? We started fucking with Third Eye.
Third Eye Studio.
Third Eye Studio.
Pete Twist.
Yep, Pete Twist and Joe City, you know what I mean? Shout out to them brothers and shit. And I was like, damn, when I got with like them, I was like, it was like the beats was some next level shit. I was like, oh shit, these niggas is making beats. You know what I'm saying? This is not.
They was some of my favorite beats, man.
Man, they was taking that shit to a next level, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Some
like
of my favorite beats I heard in VA.
Yeah, for sure.
At all times.
At all times. Third Eye was like legendary.
Had some
you know what
fire
I'm
ass
saying?
beats,
They had a lot of VA hip hop went through Third Eye. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you ain't record that Third Eye, you won't dope. You know what I'm saying? You got a session in Third Eye, you was doing something. You know what I'm saying? Plenty of other studios going on around here, little studios here and there. But if you want fucking with Third Eye, you want rocking with Third Eye.
Third Eye was the level.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you wasn't really doing shit. You know
remember
what I'm saying?
I came home in '99 and I was writing and I had a lot of shit. Went straight in Third Eye. The beats, I was like, oh yeah,
man. Yeah, that's how me and Joe got a lock. You know what I'm saying? So me and Joe just got a lock. We just locked in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Me and Joe been banging them out ever since. Still banging them out. You know what I'm saying? Yup. So yeah, that was like that like set the standard. You know what I'm saying?
So let me ask you something back. So when did Robert Lee and say Sandy come into the picture?
Oh man, that was early. That was like
even the ability to like articulate it as far as like my verbal skills, all that stuff, man.
Right.
Later on, I found out came from my grandmother, stuff like that. But
the DNA.
Yeah.
Straight it back to who was.
Oh man, the DNA. I'll wait a little bit to get into deeper with that, but it's crazy.
All right.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you this though, because you know my grandmother, she was faithful. Well, she had me in church faithfully. You know what I mean, as a little boy.
Right.
So I want to ask you, because I know about the church music. When we hear the choir and all of that, we listening, we feel it. You know what I mean? But so coming up how you did, very strictly, you know, strict rules. What was it like? What are some stories when you first started getting the feel for that worldly music? And you kind of wanted to listen to the worldly music, even sing it, but you knew you couldn't go home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, mom and pops couldn't hear this. This ain't what we do over here.
Right.
But, and to the point where you probably was feeling a little guilty because you know you was raised Christian.
Well, I didn't really feel guilty because I was a rebel, bro. Like, I didn't care what anybody thought. I still don't. But as far as like the way that happened was my aunts again in Norfolk. So my uncle, my uncles, shout out to my aunt Sonia, Tina, all of them. My mother's sisters and brothers.
Okay.
So
this is not your adopted aunties.
No. Yeah.
This is your...
I mean, they my mom's sisters and brothers. Okay. Yeah. My mother, not my maternal mother, but my mother that adopted me. Like she raised me.
Word. Okay.
Yeah, Brenda Etheridge. So the Etheridge is like, but these were like my mother's brothers and sisters. Another set. They're the hot nets.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah. So but they were like into Air Supply. You know what I'm saying? Hall and Oates, Barbara Streisand.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Stevie Wonder, the whole Motown era. They had vinyl back then.
Yeah, that's when it was.
So that's when I was over their house when I would come home from school, kindergarten at St. Mary's, which I brought that up because you know I shot the video for The Count, the latest video that I have out.
Yeah.
I went to Catholic kindergarten there at that school.
Okay.
So that was a full circle moment to come back and shoot the video.
Okay.
So so
we'll get to you on that a little later.
Yeah. So
I wanted to know the visual is like dope.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
I get into that. But
my aunts and them they had the vinyl. So you talking Stevie Wonder, you talking you know, just Marvin Gaye, like all of that stuff.
Right.
So as I'm listening to this, I'm like, hold on. You know, this is but it's all relative because the gospel's already there. I'm a musician. I don't know it, but you know, and
But you are one already.
Yeah, I would sit there and then I would preach too. Because my grandfather was a preacher. Right. So I would mimic the pastor at New Hope all the time.
And you're like, what, 10?
No. I'm 6, 7.
6 still.
Yeah. My grandfather, God rest in peace. I love him. Ezekiel was a great man. He was really cool. He loved me to death, man. He really showed me a lot of love. But he would put his robe on me. Like his bathrobe and just watch me like this boy watch him preach and I would go in there and I would just preach like like I was preaching and I would just because they had a wooden floor I would stomp and it would just rattle, so it was just like something you know what I mean, it was in me. But so that's how I started that. And then my uncles, as I got older now, my uncles, they started introducing me to hip-hop because they were starting to listen to like Biz Markie, you know what I mean, the Jutes Crew and the Ha and all of that.
Let me ask you. So when I asked you about feeling guilty, I didn't mean towards anybody else. Did you feel guilty towards God that you was listening to?
Yeah, that was before all of that. That was like, so DJ Man, you know, used to be with Shadi back in the day, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I can't even remember, I can't even tell how he ended up, long story short, he ended up meeting Zondi, you know, family Zondi, who is Ombre's sister, you know what I'm saying? So they ended up linking up. This when Shadi had his shit on the radio, we knew the name, we listened to the music, you know what I'm saying? You know, and they ended up, he ended up out here. It's when they, I want to say their mom and their grandma stayed up front, at the front, very front court, you know what I mean? Up there by Pop's crib, you know what I'm saying? Right up there. So yeah. And so one day, I guess he was out. He must have said something to somebody. Man must have been outside hanging, and he must have said something to somebody like, "Yo, he looking for people that can rap or anybody to do anything, make beats or whatever, anything out here." So you know, the word spread through the whole neighborhood. I'm probably back here in the back. You know what I'm saying? I'm back here in the back doing whatever. The word got to me like a messenger. One of the little niggas ran up to me and was like, yo, you gotta come up front. They looking for you. They looking for you.
Be out here.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Somebody looking for you over there.
Yeah. He was like, yo, you gotta get up front. They looking for you. They look. I'm like, who looking for me? What's going on? They're like, yo, you got
People be think I be bullshit.
That's some
when I tell them like, yo, know how I grew up, it was like a kung fu movie, bro. They from when I be out of state telling them, they're like, yo, what you mean? I'm like, yo, I really live somewhere where you had to expect somebody to just walk out of the blue looking for you.
Yeah,
fight.
Yep, yeah.
Or just for whatever reason, we took people looking for you real serious.
Yeah. I'm like, who looking for me for what? Why?
Yeah.
He's like, yo, you got to come to the front. They rapping. They need you to rap. And all that was they was like, you know, by that time they done got the name fucked up. They ain't saying his man, they saying like it's really Shy D up there, you know what I'm saying? So you know, and I'm like, oh, for real. I think I went in the house like change shirts, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I run up there. I'm a little dude, you know what I'm saying? Went up there and like I said, I believe you know, it's longer. This is where Tito was living, you know what I'm saying?
Damn.
You know, rest in peace, you know what I'm saying?
Rest in peace,
But I think Tito was even up there. I think Tito was up there, you know what I mean? We was all around. It was like we was right there at the green tank.
By the Lindsay yard right there.
No, the one up front close by the Shady Rest. That green tank right there, like with Miss Ann, bingo, right there. Yup, we was right there, and I think, you know, either somebody had some instrumentals or somebody first. I think somebody was beating on the green tank.
Yeah.
And he's standing around, you know, and by the time I get up there, and they're like, "Yo, that's just him right here." They like, "Oh, he like, oh, so this, you know, this we y'all talk about, you know what I'm saying? Yo, yeah." He like, "Let me hear something." And so by that time, somebody had came out with the radio, you know what I mean? So they played a instrumental, whatever might have been the hottest instrumental, and boom, you know what I'm saying? I just freestyle, I just jumped in, you know what I mean?
Bro, this is like 85, 86.
Yeah, this is early, you know what I'm saying? This is early, you know what I mean? I say a little rhyme, you know what I mean? I think I know I did have like a rhyme. I probably had like a in the pocket favorite joke, you know what I'm saying? I might have said that or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I don't really remember now, you know what I'm saying? But from then it was just like, no, and it was like, yo, then it was like serious, like, 'cause he was like, yo, he gonna pick 3 people, you know what I mean, or whatever the case is. He gonna pick these 3 people.
Okay.
And we like, damn.
That you was listening to.
Like,
I didn't, because you know at that point you're a kid.
Okay.
So all I know is, even though I did, I'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
But I did have an encounter with God as a young child, like a manifestation, a visitation.
No, let's talk about that now.
Wow. Yeah, when I was about 6 again, I don't know why God just chooses that age to like really make me remember stuff. Maybe 7. I remember one night.
That's a symbolic age in the history of a lot going back too. Yeah. So you remember?
I woke up in the middle of the night scared. I wasn't, because I woke up, and when I woke up, there was a chair that sat in the corner of my bedroom.
Right.
And when I looked in the chair, there was a man in the chair with his legs crossed.
Okay.
Sitting, and he had this weird looking hat on. I said, "This is Captain Crunch hat." Not understanding till later it was a priest hat.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm looking, and he had a sword in his mouth. So I'm fearful.
Yeah.
I'm super scared.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, wow.
You're a boy.
Yeah, I'm a child, and I'm frozen.
And you see this vision.
Yeah, and I'm up. I'm not asleep.
Yeah.
So, and I can't move. And he ain't saying nothing. And then he just gone. And then I like immediately when he left, I could move. And I immediately ran out of my room, ran into my parents' bedroom, like, there's a man in there. I'm telling you right now, there's a man in there. Listen, I don't care what nobody say. There's a man in there.
That's what you can't forget too.
You can't forget. I'll never forget it. The day
I can tell how you're telling the story.
And the reason I don't forget it is because I had those encounters later on,
right,
but not with the same manifestation, but similar as an adult. So it made me understand that was God showing me then what my calling was. And that was also, that man with the sword was symbolic of the word of God, because the Bible says the word is like a two-edged sword cutting asunder. So the sword was representative of, I'm sending you. So he gave me the revelation of the visitation, like later in life, like this is why, you know, my word isn't going to be in your mouth. And you just this is what you call to do, bro. You ain't gonna be able to do nothing now.
Right. Okay. Hence the freezing, and you couldn't move while he sat there.
Come on now.
With the sword in his mouth.
Come on, man.
Symbolic, I got you.
Yeah. All of that was revealed later. As a child, I didn't know what that.
You didn't know what that symbol.
I didn't know what that hat was until I was able to say, "Wait a minute, that's the hat I saw as a kid when I saw it on a priest."
Dope.
But I'm still listening to. I'm Kumo D. I got me a black joint like him. Leather my uncle gave me. I'm writing the raps. Listen, I'm writing the raps for my man. I tell you, Roy Tatum and Edwin Smith, and it was another cat. We had a group. I made a group in school, in the elementary.
Okay.
We're a group now. We're going to the talent show. I'm writing all the raps for everybody. Okay. And we did that. Yeah, I wrote everybody's rap.
And what was the name of the elementary?
Windsor Woods Elementary.
Windsor
Woods Elementary, bro.
Hip hop history at Windsor Woods Elementary.
Windsor Woods Elementary. Shout out.
What year was that?
Bro, listen, don't get me the line.
Yeah, it was a long time ago, but
long time
you
ago.
know the history, some of it where it started at
80s.
Virginia Beach.
You know what I mean?
Windsor Elementary.
He like, we gonna take you to he gonna take us to Luke. You know what I'm saying? Uncle Luke.
Uncle Luke. Oh shit. Luke,
yeah, Uncle Luke, because Shadi was on. So Luke back then was Luke Skywalker. You know what I mean?
Luke
Skywalker records. You know what I'm
uh-huh.
saying? You know, I always got to give props to Luke. You know, because I think Luke
Right.
might have been like the first black. The first brother with an indie label that was, you know what I mean, like that. That was doing it like that. You know what I'm saying? That whole
Especially on this side.
That whole 2 Live Crew shit, all that shit was legendary.
Right.
That shit was huge for the culture. You know what I'm saying? You know,
No doubt.
and show people what could be done from a business standpoint, even though I wasn't even looking at it like that. You know what I mean? I was just looking at it like, damn, you know what I mean? And no diss to them when he was like, or anything down south, but at that time it was only bass music. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't known for no like MCs.
Right.
You know, it was just party music. You know what I'm saying? You know, boom, that whole type vibe. And so I think that's why Shadi shit stood out. Because Shadi was from New York. I didn't know. I thought he was from down there, but I was like, damn, if he to be from down there, he rapping his ass off. You know what I'm saying? For back then. And fast, you know what I mean? He had fast rhyme, but saying some shit. I didn't find out till later on that he wasn't even from there, you know what I mean? He was from up top somewhere, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. But yeah, so that was the whole shit. So he was like, yo, we gonna pick a couple people and I'm gonna deal with y'all, man, and we're gonna go to take y'all to Luke, you know what I'm saying? Get y'all signed to Luke.
So how did Robert Lee and Sandy get in?
Honestly, I don't even remember if Robert Lee was even out there at the time. Or if he was there beforehand, but some kind of way both of them got tied into that.
They was the other two.
Yeah, they was the other two.
You and those two.
It ended up being me, Robert Lee, and Sandy, because I was like, I didn't even know Sandy had bars.
Yeah, so she came out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere, like,
right,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
in the room.
Boom, and had bars. Wasn't no average shit, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, damn, fam, I didn't know you was even. She's like, yeah, I've been in the cut. You know what I mean? I've been practicing. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, she came out hard. So yeah, so we ended up, that was the deal. Boom. So he was like,
all right. So I'm working our way down because there was no better place than to start with the manifestation God sent.
Yes, sir.
So now working our way down to man. I want to know, and this is something I definitely always wanted to know.
Sure.
Because, like I said, after we left middle school, I didn't really get to catch up with you a lot for some years.
Facts.
So, but I just was hearing, yo, Mike is
right,
here, Mike is
right,
here.
Right, because middle school was that moment where we went from middle school to high school, where things started.
Things started percolating for everybody everywhere. Everybody started doing their thing and bubbling. So, what I want to ask you is, how old were you when you actually first met Teddy Riley, and what's the story behind you and him meeting that very first initial time? How did that come about?
So, middle school, obviously I was in the band, Mr. Edwards, still developing. Pharrell came to that school, but I didn't know him.
Right.
I just saw him one time.
Middle school?
Yeah. He came to Independence.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he came to, and he got suspended.
Okay.
Something happened. I forgot, but he got some type of trouble. But that's how I knew who that's Pharrell. And that was the end of that.
Right.
Now, fast forward, we going to Princess Anne High School. He's already there. I'm coming in from the band program.
Okay.
See, this is where a lot of people, I think, don't understand too. What the Neptunes, as a group, as individuals, musically were developed in band. Yeah, like this ain't no. You know what I mean? We just got a computer.
The mandatory band that everybody
you better know how to read a little bit of music. Not just I got a computer and a blue mic and I'm just an artist now.
So y'all advanced. Y'all went from that regular band to the advanced band.
Exactly. Marching the whole 9 yards, bro.
I remember
and the instructor we had to learn to, it wasn't no just you playing what you hear, because we were naturally gifted.
Right.
But you had to learn to read the music. You had to go to sight readings and all of that.
Okay.
Now Chad, he was on another level musically. But anyway, so in high school, I get there. I'm coming in the 10th grade. And because back then it wasn't 9th grade, it was 10th.
10th, yeah.
And then that's where I meet Pharrell.
Okay, so you met Pharrell before Teddy Riley.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I met Pharrell before Teddy Riley. When I meet Pharrell,
he was like, I'm busy all the time because, like I said, the Shadi shit was cracking, and he was on the road, you know what I mean, a lot. But eventually, we got to Georgia. We ended up going to Georgia, staying at his mom crib, you know what I'm saying? And we ended up being at that bitch, man. I don't know, about a couple months, you know what I'm saying? Just ended up being at his mom crib. He show up, nothing cracking, because he was still on tour, you know what I mean? So he was popping in town and make sure we was good, or Western Union was the shit, so he was Western Union. His mama, I remember his mom used to be like, I'm going to Western Union and get some money. Man sent some money for y'all, boom, whatever, you know what I'm saying, boom. Just so we could eat and regular shit, you know what I mean? We ended up being down there. We thought we were going to be down there for like a week or so, you know what I'm saying? We ended up being there about 2 months. Dang. You know what I mean? I ended up coming back. I came back before them. But yeah, so nothing really popped off because of that shoddy shit that was going on.
Right.
So in hindsight, I'm just like, damn, I don't know if maybe he had the same idea, like maybe he wanted to start a record label and was gonna try to do something, or if he just was gonna genuinely just pitch us the loop and try to get us all signed. But he was like, he wanted to get us some music together and we was gonna do all of that. But that ain't happened at that time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that ain't happened. So that was my first taste of, oh shit, this shit can really happen. Like it's some shit. And that was a co-sign like, damn, you nice enough that you probably can. You could do something, you know what I mean? If you get in this game, you could probably do something. You could. I always felt like I could compete with the best of them, you know what I mean? But it's just a matter of getting the bars to the music to the right person. You know, back then it wasn't no internet. You know what I'm saying?
The right person hearing it.
Don't really know cell phone game.
Right.
So yeah, that was my first taste of almost stardom. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know.
So I'm gonna keep you in that era right there, right? I'm gonna keep you in that time zone, same around the time zone when somebody ran to the back and came and got you. Were you familiar with it was an R&B group from Bayside Arms called the Shades of Love? Well, Nord lived right there. He was the lead singer of the group.
Yeah.
Were you ever familiar with that? Did you ever see that group?
Yeah. Before I even knew, I didn't know, but they was actually a group until like later. You know what I'm saying? Later on. I just thought
they were just home, just hanging out.
Niggas where they can sing, you know what I'm saying? I was like, damn, it's weird that they can hang together though, you know what I'm saying? They getting drunk as a bitch, you know what I'm saying? They get drunk as a bitch.
So it's like, you see them as friends first before singers, like, oh,
yeah, they just
crazy that they can all just sing.
And they all homies, you know what I mean? They all hang together. They drink, get fucked up.
So you live over here.
Yeah, I
live over here. So for you, the whole time it's just, they just homeboys saying
that's it. I ain't know nothing about them. There was no group.
You ain't know there was no organization.
All that started was because they always say they had harmony. You know what I'm saying? I was like, these some singing ass drunk niggas from around the way. Well, I was like, Bayside Arms is the shit, man. We got everything. We got athletes, we got artists, you know what I'm saying? I was like, boom. And I always thought to myself, like, you know, because they older than me. I always thought to myself, like, damn, when did they should try to get a record deal or something? I was like, these niggas ain't trying to get no record deal. I see them every day. They drinking 15 packs of bull, you know what I'm saying, back here in the back. And we throwing horseshoes and shit, you know what I'm saying? So
we immediately clicked, obviously, because he's a musician, I'm a musician.
Right.
He's a a writer. Right. And he realizes I can sing, rap, everything. Yeah. So now we're just, you know what I mean? And that's how that bond was performed. And then we're in the drum line together. Okay. So we're all summer long.
Y'all go back.
Yeah, that first summer of high school, we're every day. Yeah. All day. In the heat playing drums, you know what I mean?
So y'all riding the activity bus home every day after school?
Oh yeah, the whole 9 yards. My mom giving him rides to the crib. You know what I'm saying? One of the activity bus, she come and pick, you know what I mean? No bus even running yet. Right. You know what I mean? She the ride. Right. So that's how we met. And once we met, like I said, we just started. Then he says, "Yo, I got a friend named Chad, this Chinese guy. He can play the keyboard." And so boom, that's when the group started forming of the Neptunes. Okay, now obviously Shay was there, but Shay was a dancer. Shay never did anything musically, so it was just me. It was more so the musician side of it.
Shay was like Tupac when he first joined the
Shay
underground.
was like had to be pushed. Right. Like it was a situation where it was like. He didn't even want to do anything. But Pharrell was like, you're going to do this because I need to make sure you have something to do with your life. That's that's literally how he thought. Yeah. Like he would tell him that. Right. So, you know what I mean?
That's love, though.
Yeah, it really was because he foresaw like.
I'm not leaving you behind.
Right.
Man. You got to do this. Yeah, I'm not
exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so when we would do that, we would go to Chad's house and just work, man. Like we would like figure it out. Like just Pharrell would be in there like trying to figure out what he was doing with the drum sounds. Chad on the keyboard, like Mike, sing to this. Da 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 da. Pharrell one day brought me a song called "Look in the Water," which is on the Master Plan Collector CD. Right. So if you want to hear it, grab that CD. Or you can
tell them again.
Grab the CD at gnextlifeshopify.com, or you can stream it online. Right. The whole album's out. It's amazing. Like people all over the world appreciate that. But Look in the Water was a record he brought me. Okay. Because obviously now we're developing this. Because Chad had put all of these space looking stuff in the room and just so that started to develop the planet Neptune feel. Okay.
And this still you in 10th grade.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. 10th grade, young.
All right.
developing the Neptune feel at that point. Look in the Water is part of the Neptune feel. We had a song called Wet, 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 where we had water guns and be spraying them. You know what I mean? So, at this point, when he brings me Look in the Water, you know, he's like, look, this is how the record go, blah, blah, blah. I'm singing it. I'm like, okay, boom. So I put a little my spin on it, and then we go and just start recording it. Chad had a mic.
Mm-hmm.
Chad was ahead of his time. Chad was a studio.
Okay.
Before there was a studio.
Chad, huh?
Chad, Hugo. Like, there's nothing without Chad, man.
Wow.
Chad had the equipment. Chad had the parents that was willing to go spend the bread on the equipment, because, you know, my mama and them weren't doing it.
So how important is Chad to Virginia Beach hip hop?
Come on, man. Chad, without Chad, it ain't nothing.
It ain't nothing.
As far as that movement.
That movement right there. I mean,
that,
talking Virginia Beach hip hop history.
His
like,
crib, his
from
equipment.
Virginia Beach, yeah.
His crib, his equipment. And even I'll get into later, to go a step further, him being able to, I'll wait for that part. I'll wait for that part. Just remind me to put a pin right there.
I got you. So we want to lead up to, so now I got Chad, I got Pharrell, I got Mike.
You got me.
They forming the group of Neptunes.
Yes.
Jay got to be pushed. You know, that's Pharrell's brother. He's
there you
pushing.
go.
All right, so now you guys are forming. What does Teddy Riley come into the picture?
There's a studio built now called Future Records.
And that's right next to
y'all high school. Teddy and them moved to Virginia. We don't even know he's here. He's not. This is not publicized.
He's not even talking about.
No, he's there just working. He's you know, he's just found a place that they done visited from New York several times.
Right.
And this feels like somewhere he could build a studio and get away from the New York life and the things that were going on up there.
Right.
He builds a studio here. All we see is this building every day across the water from the school. Like, what is this?
What's going on over there?
What's going on over there?
Right.
We figure out, I don't know how we ended up figuring out it was Teddy Riley. Actually, I do know. Because we ended up doing a Princess Anne high school talent show.
Oh.
See, there were two talent shows. There was Princess Anne high school talent show, and then there was the Teddy Riley talent show later.
Okay.
By the time the Teddy Riley show came, we had already been in the studio. He was already rocking with us.
Yeah, I was okay.
They want to perform in there. We was already in.
Right.
He already knew these is the Virginia boys.
Yeah, these my boys from Virginia, right.
Period. Yeah. So and Pharrell was going up.
So you still in the 10th grade when this is happening, right? So was you like 15, 16 years old? So
yeah.
Okay, so you in Teddy Riley eyes, you got to be looked at as a child prodigy.
There you go.
Really, all of you, Pharrell and Chad.
Definitely, because Pharrell was going over there. See, I was still a minor, so my parents were, and they already was not rocking with the industry, so they were like, nah, you getting in the house at a certain time.
Right.
So I couldn't be in there when it was really popping, when it was like midnight and they in there all night doing music and stuff. I'm home.
Right.
But Pharrell's still going over there because he can be out all night. He 18.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? He already grown.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's how that happened. But to get to how we met Teddy Riley. What would happen is Pharrell was on a mission like, yo, then we going to walk to the studio every day after school and knock on the door. I'm like, bro, everybody was, because Chad's not with us. Chad's home.
Okay.
Chad's in another school because he's at Kempsville High School.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? So it's just me, just think 3 dusty looking, funny looking black kids
this mic a little bit, bro.
Walking up to the studio every day.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? Knocking on the door.
Okay.
And Sifu was the security guard. Everybody know who Sifu is, Kung Fu assassin. So, he would be cool. And then few times he just was scary. Like, get out of here.
That was Teddy Riley security or something?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
I never went to Future Records.
We get turned away every day. And then he's like, yo, we going back, man. They would tell us, bro. And now, mind you,
so Pharrell is pushing y'all to go to Future Records every day.
Right. And I don't want to skip over Omar Chandler.
Okay.
Who was a door opener for us? Who was?
It was just crazy. I never knew. It was an actual group. Actual group. You know what I'm saying?
We used to go around and getting gigs.
Had no idea.
Singing in clubs.
Had no idea. Had no idea, bro. Had no idea.
It was just dudes out the way they could sing.
That's it. They just get fucked. That's all I saw with them. You know what I mean? But I knew they could sing though.
But that would be no surprise to you to see a dude from around based on the drunk, but he can sing his ass off. Or he can ball his ass off.
Or then they go fast, then they ran track or whatever. Anything happened, based on his own city.
His own borough.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, I said for years, man, if you knew you ain't had to leave base out of house for nothing. You could get everything you needed for survival, and now you had to leave the neighborhood.
So I asked you, it's funny because you know we're gonna get to this in your story in a few. Did you know, or maybe did you find out or hear that Teddy Riley wanted to sign them, but he really just wanted to take Nord?
No, I never knew that.
You didn't know that?
I
Yeah.
never knew that.
Yeah, he really just wanted Nord. He really
Wow.
the other guys. He just wanted Nord.
I never knew that.
Teddy.
Man.
They hollered at Teddy when Teddy first came down here.
Wow.
Somehow somebody introduced him to him from doing the gigs, and Teddy wanted Nord.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ain't that some shit? I never
Yeah.
knew that shit. Damn, if I'd have known that, I probably would have said something to that brother. Man, you don't remember?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? He from my neighborhood.
Yeah.
He from my neighborhood.
Just like that, man. Just like that.
Yeah.
So speaking of that, now I know this is a topic. You probably been asked this question a million times. I probably asked you on the other podcast.
Mhm.
But now we get into more detail. The talent show.
Yeah.
The famous talent show.
Yeah.
The picture.
The infinite spirit.
The picture with you emceeing. You got Pharrell, Chad, Pretty, Tony Crumble. Shout out to Pretty Tony Crumble.
Exactly,
Definitely had a big influence on Virginia Beach hip hop. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't say if he trying to get whitewashed out or not, but the kid been around, man. There's no denying that he was there. So it's a famous picture.
Yeah.
With the God, he emceeing. The God is emceeing.
Yeah.
Chad's emceeing. Ain't Timberland in the picture too?
Yeah, Timberland.
So you got Timberland, you got Pharrell, you got Chad, and you got Pretty Tony Crumble, legend himself.
All in the picture. Yeah, all in the picture. They all in
Virginia Beach pioneers in the music scene.
Yep. And actually, that's I think that might have been that was after the talent show. That was after the talent.
So this picture
is
is
not
after
even
the talent
this
show.
has, but
so take me back and give me the talent show. Explain to me the talent show.
So the talent show was like I said.
How did you get in it? Well, how did you hear about it? How did you get in it?
So long story short, by this point, like I said, I done figured out. I done did the shit with Rob Lee. We done did the whole shit.
Yeah,
so by this
Georgia,
point, you know, I'm getting some, you know, really starting to. I still hadn't got to the point, but that I had like real tracks though. You know what I mean?
Right.
This is it's really close. Like I said, a lot of shit happened really quickly in a short amount of time. Like it wasn't long before, you know, this is still the Joe City shit. You know what I mean? The Third Eye.
Okay.
You know, this is all in the same round, really close time frame. You know, all this shit is going on. You know, so at this point in the game, you know, I feel like I'm the shit. You know what I'm saying? Already, like, boom, nigga. You know, I can do it. I'm one of the best. You know what I'm saying? You know, me and shout out to cousin Have. Yo, I used to go to Norfolk State. A lot of people don't know. Me and Have would tell you. You know what I'm saying? But Have used to go to Norfolk State. You know what I'm saying? And I used to go with Have to Norfolk State and battle niggas in the student union. You know what I'm saying? Have would put bread up. We battle niggas for bread, weed, whatever niggas had. You know what I mean? Because niggas in college, they ain't had too much bread. You know what I'm saying? But you know, and then you know, we was doing our thing. We was outside. Have had the Z. You know what I mean? So we pulling up, and man, we would get fucked up and smoke and drink. I don't think Have ever went to a class. I went to class one time with Have, and it was one of them auditorium classes. And I said, this shit, the college shit is crazy, bro, because I'm just here. I don't even go to the schools. I'm in the whole class. I'm just sitting in the class. We sat in there for about 30 minutes and shit, and some chick was like, y'all niggas smell like weed. And then, you know what I'm saying, he laughed, and we left. You know what I'm saying? We went. But I used to go to long story short, that's what honed my battle skills. That's when I knew I could battle officially. Was them days.
And
North State in the student union, because you know numerous New York cats. You know what I'm saying? You know, because you know they were setting the standard. You know what I mean? That was the standard. You know, if you was from New York, you did everything. You was dopest for everything. You know, you was the flyest dresser. You ain't know how to do nothing if you wasn't.
Yeah, we remember that era with the New York
that
guys.
Era. You know what I'm saying? So that honed my battling. To double back on that question. That's where I got my battling shit from.
Skills, bro.
You know what I'm saying? I was famous for making motherfuckers go to their notebook because I could freestyle. I used to be able to freestyle like a motherfucker. So I make a motherfucker go to their notebook because you could tell when a motherfucker start spitting written shit.
Right.
When you're an MC, you know what I'm saying? And out to the freestyle realm and shit. And I still keep it on the freestyle realm. But yeah, so similar shit. I heard, like I said, T.R. was in town. You know, he here. You know what I'm saying? You know, yeah, he looking for artists, you know, but I'm trying to figure out how am I going to link with him, how I'm going to get to him. And then some kind of way, word of mouth. It might have been Guy, because Guy was in the talent show. I think Guy might have said, you know, we're having the talent show. they was doing, you know, they had got linked in with the community, you know,
Okay.
and then Teddy Riley and them was doing shit with the community.
Okay.
And Omar Chandler was like spokesperson, you know what I mean? And we, you know, we
Yeah.
like, oh, so I knew these people. I heard these names of these people. I knew he was here. I seen the studio,
Right.
you know what I mean? So I'm like, damn, how the fuck I'm gonna get there though? You know what I mean? How I'm gonna get there? How I'm gonna get the link with him? And somebody, boom, yeah, they having a talent show at CDC. You know what I'm saying? Boom. So I'm like, all right, cool. You know, that's cool.
Oh, so that's where it was at CDC.
Yeah,
the first talent show.
The very first talent show was at CDC. You know what I'm saying? So we just gonna clarify that to set the record
And that's
straight.
the one I was
You know
probably
what I'm
hearing
saying?
about. So this is
See,
like
everybody.
okay.
It's a lot of people. They talk about the second talent show because
Right.
the second talent show was more organized than the first
Right.
one. You know what I'm saying? Like Teddy wasn't at the first one. It was his people. Like I think Markel was there though, and the people that he fucked with enough.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That
Yeah.
I guess trusted his word. But Mark was there. Markel was there. You know that's Rex and Effect. So that still was like, oh, you know, okay, cool. You know, boom. But at this time, like I still wasn't taking that opportunity serious, even if I heard about it.
Right.
The whole reason I wanted to go to the talent show was behind I was trying to date. I had just started hollering at this chick. And she was, you know, out of who I hang with, Pig and, you know, Holly and Keith, you know, I'm all of them. I'm the youngest out of them. I'm the runt out of the bunch. So I'm the youngest out of them. They're all a couple years older than me at least.
Gotcha.
So I'm the freshman age in high school. She like the senior girl age, but this is right after school. You know what I'm saying? This is after school. But so my thing was I was trying to just show them that I actually had been taking this chick out on dates, you know what I'm saying? So
you was trying to stunt.
I'm trying to stunt. That was the whole MO. I was not even thinking about rapping, none of that shit. I was gonna go. My brother was like, he in the talent show. They like, yo, you know, you should get in the talent show. I think before all that, I was like, nah, you know, man.
So when you got there, the girl was with you? Did you think?
Yeah, so it's like, if I'm not mistaken, this might have been the first date. We went out. I took her like, big deal. Like I think I took her to like Applebee's or something, you know what I'm saying? Back then that was the shit, you know what I'm saying? You know,
he sung the song Joy and Pain with Rob Bass.
Okay. Yeah,
he was right. He was
Joy.
he had a baby by Teddy's sister, Niecy. So he was instrumental in saying, hey, there's some Virginia kids. Yo, I done told Teddy about y'all kind of deal, but
so that came about where he saw y'all keep trying to get in or something, and he's like, "Damn it!"
Right.
So did y'all ever perform?
But one day he okay. But one day he took us to the side and was like, "Let me hear what y'all got."
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's how it became a thing. Teddy, I need you to hear these kids. You understand what I'm saying?
That's the VA hip hop history shit I'm talking about.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Omar was the link, bro.
No doubt.
If it wasn't for Omar, there's no link.
Omar is the guy singing the hook, like he said on Rob Bass song, the hit from the 90s, Joy and Pain. Pump it up, pump it up, pump it up.
Yeah, that's
dope.
That's Omar.
So Omar went to Teddy and was like, yo, I need you to hear these kids, man.
I need you to hear these kids, man. And so in that progression, you know, obviously Teddy was still not really, you know what I mean? He's dealing with Bobby Brown, Michael Jackson.
Who are these kids?
From Virginia at that. But he decided one day to let us in, and we knew it wasn't like, you know, we just randomly. We knew that day. Wednesday, we're going to the studio. Teddy's gonna listen to us.
Okay.
And that's what happened, man. We went there that day, and obviously, he was like, "Show me what y'all got. What do you do? What do you do?" I was like, "I sing, like da da da." And I think Pharrell may have said a rap or something, but the main thing was look in the water.
Right.
The record, the singing record. So, you know, I bust out with Look in the Water.
Yeah.
And that was it. From there, it was like, I want you guys. I want y'all. Like, that's it. And his brother, Markel Riley, had a production. He had given his brother a production label. So Teddy, like, probably thinking these guys are good, they the future, whatever, but I'm doing all this other stuff. Markel, this is something you could be blessed with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we got our first deal then, bro.
So y'all, so the first deal, y'all got a deal as a group. So y'all were the Neptunes when y'all got that deal. You, Chad, Pharrell, was Shay considered a part of the Neptunes?
Yeah.
But he was the dancer.
Right.
So you got the first deal.
Yeah, we got a first bag.
Wow.
Yeah, a first bag. I think it was $5 or $10 grand to split. You know what I'm saying? What that
Y'all
time.
felt loaded, boy. Y'all like,
Popping up in school, you know what I mean?
you like, yo, we with Teddy. What y'all gonna do? What's up, girl? What's
Yeah,
up? What you trying to do?
exactly. And what's interesting is because Ted, you know, obviously saw my singing ability. He was interested in that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because Blackstreet was hot.
Yeah.
And Teddy's a R&B producer. He's not a, you know, necessarily a rap producer, even though we all have that in us that could rap or whatever. Pharrell rap too, but it wasn't like his focus.
Right.
But Rex and Effect. So that's when that came in, when he would go there at night and he wrote the record for Teddy on Rump Shaker.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But Look in the Water is what got us in there. So we signed the deal with Funky Mama. We did the deal. We had hired a lawyer from Portsmouth.
At least y'all kept the money in the town.
Yeah, Waverly Jones. And the meeting was at my in my garage at my house, man.
Word.
Yeah, that's where the contract got
That's what
signed.
the contract got done in the garage.
Yeah.
Say for like,
and because I had to have my parents.
And
I'm a minor.
yeah, you're right. You still in high school.
Yeah. So they let me do it. You know, they said, okay, whatever.
So the advance is 10 grand.
Yeah, either 5 or 10. I think.
5 or 10,
Yeah, I
right.
want to. Yeah,
With
whatever
Funky
it was.
Mama.
I had like 25 or something like that piece.
Okay, with Funky Mama.
Yeah.
Teddy didn't have anything to do with the deal.
He set it up, but I mean,
Right.
Funky Mama obviously was an imprint that he gave Markel.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That he still had his hand on.
It's a hell of a print, Funky Mama.
Yeah.
But it sounds like something Teddy would probably come up with. Back
Exactly. So that's how we ended up. That was our first encounter with Teddy. That was the first record deal that was signed in Virginia Beach. Was in my garage.
Your garage.
Okay.
Say it with your chest.
Yeah.
Say it with your chest.
And it was, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why, you know, and I think, and not to be funny, but when you look at the Lego movie, that's why I had to start speaking out, because this is inaccurate.
I didn't see the Lego movie.
Okay, well, I didn't see it either, but I saw enough of it to know that
you weren't in it.
This is not correct. You know what I'm saying? It was so many inaccuracies, and I'm like, well, why, bro? Like, regardless to whatever we went through with the situation that we had, you know what I'm saying? Why you do that? So that's why I was like, nah, I ain't letting that. I'm gonna talk about it.
So basically, this story you just told me, which I will attest, I'm pretty sure is accurate 100%. This man is 100%.
You ain't got to test. You don't have to test, because there's so many people that have attested when the movie came out.
Oh.
When the Lego movie came out, I ain't say a word.
So you heard, just from hearsay, you found out what took place.
Because it wasn't hearsay. It was people started posting on social media. Me as a Lego person.
Word.
I'm talking about people we went to high school with. See, people forget that there were people there.
Right.
Not just me.
Right.
I don't care, you know, whatever type of fame and fortune you have, you can't blind people that were actually visible to see the reality of what happened.
So let me ask you, Mike.
Yeah.
So when you feel, when you hear or you see the post, and because I know you have your own life, and you're securing yourself. First, you're securing God, and that makes you securing your life.
That's why I never cared.
Yeah. But from the story everything you just told me, the history, like I said, Virginia Beach history, at some point, it has to affect with a man if he feels like somebody's playing with his legacy.
And there you go. That's it right there.
Playing with a man's legacy.
Playing with a man's legacy, bro. Because you don't want to face the truth of our present.
Right.
And at the same time, I was with the Neptunes. And at that time, the Neptunes was a group, as I said before. It was Chad, Shay, myself, and Mike Edgeridge.
4KINGS Media Group presents Clumsy Kings and Queens. Dropping Jewels.